Hello everybody and welcome back to me being terrible at Hearts of Iron, where we are currently working on some justification on Chickasaw, America. That should be done, and hopefully they won't be guaranteed by Ming. That would be real awkward if they get guaranteed by Ming. To the point where I don't know how we're going to break into the New World if that happens. Maybe I don't know. We'll have to think about that. For now, though, we're going to operate under the assumption that Ming is not going to completely screw us. That would be a good thing. America is doing pretty well with their fascist party. Oh, okay. I guess that's fine. Now, this is Brazil here. I'm interested in Chickasaw here. They're currently guaranteed by Brazil and Ojibwa. So that's fine. But when they broke up into Chickasaw W14, it's actually New Mexico, but don't worry about it, and actually Chickasaw America, that definitely hurt us quite a lot when they did that. Or at least it didn't hurt us, it more delayed us pretty dramatically. And I don't know why New Mexico is Chickasaw W14. It seems that the state here, oh, that's New Mexico. Owner Chickasaw W14_DEF. I'm guessing that's an import from Victoria thing. But whatever. Okay, so Brazil is pretty much... What is this? Is this different? I don't remember this being here. Huh. Well, there's our improved artillery upgrades coming in regardless. That's always nice to see. I guess we'll grab rocket artillery. How are we doing on our naval superiority over here? Reasonably well. I seem to remember putting in somebody to go on the Iberian coast. And, yeah, it was supposed to be one of these reserve fleets. Get up here. Get out of there. Okay, this fleet is... Oh, okay. So, these guys, we're going to have to put them in their own fleet, I guess. Okay, get in there. Wonderful. This should be, of course, 99 submarines. Okay, we just want to keep them out of the Mediterranean, if at all possible. And it looks like we've got some pretty good naval superiority going on over Brazil at this point. So that's fantastic to see. This division can go ahead and get assigned here. That's where it was. It took me a moment to remember where I wanted these divisions to go, but it was in this area, so that is perfect. Absolutely fine. Our justification over here is coming along nicely. That's great. Now, they are a collaboration government of Chickasaw. I don't know what that's going to end up meaning for this war declaration. We're going to find out. We are definitely going to find out that one. I also think that we probably are going to want additional troops in here at some point. The North American theater is probably going to be a little bit on the awkward side in terms of its size. Now, in our divisions here, yeah, we have a few divisions starting up. Unrestricted submarine warfare coming in. That's always nice to see. We'll go ahead and grab wolf packs. Great. And in terms of our construction, we're still working on infrastructure. However, we're doing quite well on that. To the point where... It was like, what, here last episode? Okay. Rubber trade with Malaya was modified because of lack of civilian factories. Okay, noted. There are some strikes, and that's why it was modified. Production in several factories has slowed down dramatically over the last few days as the workers have declared a strike on all war production. Demanding peace and bread, they've so far refused all attempts to negotiate a settlement. Some in the government have advocated a sharp military response, followed by a swift execution of the ringleaders as enemy agents and traitors. However, others in the civil service have recommended a more measured approach, pointing out that a heavy-handed response may well backfire if the soldiers involved are not as loyal as we thought they were. Well, we're currently at 70% war support. And a lot of that has to do with our trade convoys being raided. Okay. To the point where we're going to get up to 100%. Let's just make propaganda heroes out of the people still willing to work. Now, we are going to be lacking a lot of rubber. Luckily, we just finished up rubber processing, so that's a thing. We can probably grab improved rubber processing. Now, we don't have any synthetic refineries, do we? And we'd have to construct those... Yeah, like that. And they would end up taking... Oh, hello. We could actually put some in up here. Through some miracle. Okay, we'll put a few of those in. I thought that we had queued all of this up. But I guess that's fine. And we should probably absolute prioritize getting those synthetic refineries built. That's okay. Okay, so our civilian factories, we currently have 833 being used to produce consumer goods, leaving us with 0 available for trade. Does that also mean, yeah, we're not constructing anything here? Okay, so we probably want to change our... We can't go off of war economy to total mobilization. These strikes are hurting us a lot. Okay, well, it's going to be 45 days to get them to go away, so hopefully they will. It's going to be a similar amount of time for this war goal, right? Yeah, a similar amount of time. This is definitely hurting us, so... there's some resistance to occupation. That's to be expected, though. Are we currently working over here? Not exactly. But we don't have the civilian factories to do it. Right. That would be a thing. That would definitely be a thing. Well, at least we're 100% communist. That's something. Well, it seems that we've pretty much just got to wait to address the strike crisis. That's actually... That's saying 80-some days, but it would take 45 days to implement, actually, from what the tooltip was saying previously. So I'm not sure which of these is actually correct. If we don't handle it in 80 days. Gotcha. Well, this division can go ahead and go over here. That'll be fine. And we'll need to handle that. We are currently having a big lack of rubber. Now, we could work on region-wide industrial integration as well as industrial land appropriation, and that's probably something that we want to start doing soon. Not immediately, obviously. We've got bigger concerns right now, specifically these strikes. That is a big, big issue for us. And we should, in theory... Wait, we're in an offensive war? What offensive war are we in? I guess technically Poland and Francia are still considering this to be an offensive war? Maybe. Well, that's certainly interesting. Certainly interesting. Anyway, it pretty much is what it is. We are working on construction engineering right now, and that's actually not helpful for us currently. We might want to just grab something else, because we're not actually able to construct right now. Maybe resistance suppression? Yeah, we'll work on that for a little while. Excellent. Okay, how long on this war goal? That is about 49 days out. And I'm just wondering, where exactly do we see that propaganda that we put in? We have an 80% chance of success here. Where was that? Apparently it doesn't show up in here at all. Well, that's good to know. Regardless, we had like 90 days and it was going to take 45 days to implement that. So we should be seeing this finish up in about 20 days, in theory. I think. Unless I read it wrong, and I am just horribly bungling this, which is very likely. Extremely likely, in fact. That said, I still want to open up this extra front over here. Our strikes are problematic, for sure. And our trade convoys being raided is hurting. It is at the cap currently. Could we theoretically do something about that? As a communist revolutionary, captain of industry construction speeds. And yeah, that's construction speeds as well. Those aren't, strictly speaking, helpful right now. That said, we don't really have the political power to replace it. Our stability isn't the best. I mean, we expect that. Enemy bombing is starting to tick up a little bit. Okay. Noted. I'm wondering where they're bombing us at. It'd be nice if there was like a devastation map mode. As far as I know, there isn't one. Okay. Well, regardless, hopefully we'll have those strikes taken care of very, very soon. That would be great. We're 30 days away from this war justification. And we're working on adjusting this strike crisis here. We have an 80% chance of success. And this should be ticking in about 3 days. In theory, about 2 days now. Okay, any time now is when it can tick in. There it is. Heroes on the production front. Industrial war is more than just divisions marching and planes bombing. It's more than just the duty of a soldier to fight and die for their country. An industrial war is won, first and foremost, in the factories and foundries. To abandon the battle on the assembly line is no better than abandoning it on the front line. And the victories of the assembly line should be celebrated just as much as the ones won by the front line. All available propaganda resources have been rerouted to show the work of the armaments workers in the best possible light. Bakili Wosen, I'm assuming that's how that's pronounced, has personally approved a new award to be given out for workers who have exceeded their quota by more than 100%, and the first recipients have been sent on tours around the country to instruct other workers in their methods. It appears that this has made a lot of the strikers reconsider their stance. Work has resumed in all previously affected factories. Heroes once and all. One and all, rather. There we go. Excellent. So there's our stability coming up. A little bit. Let's swap back to construction engineering, because we should be back... to constructing a few of these. I can't help but notice we're constructing with 2 factories. Maybe if we tick forward? Okay, yeah, that was what we needed. Fine. Much, much better. Let's get these refineries done. And we also need to call for a few additional civilian factories here. Let's see, we have 120, so we need an additional 200 over that. So we need like 320. I'm only going to call in 304 for right now. Once these synthetic refineries start finishing up, then we should start seeing... How much are we going to get for each of these? 2 rubber? Okay. So this is going to be, what? 2, 4, 6, 8, 10, 12, 14, 16, 18, 20 rubber in total. That's not a lot of rubber. It's some, but it's not a lot. Okay. How are we doing on this justification? We are still a few days away from this one. Specifically, we're about 2 weeks away. A little over 2 weeks. That's fine. That is fine. I'm mostly just satisfied at this point that... Failed? What? No, we addressed the strike crisis. I'm going to ignore that, because it actually worked. Through some miracle. And that is the miracle of odds. Let's check in on our naval supremacy here. We're doing well keeping them out of the Mediterranean, it looks like. They're still doing some work in the Mediterranean. We are actually at 100% naval supremacy in most of these regions. 94 here, 81 here. We're doing very well in locking down this region. We're also doing some damage in South Africa, but we don't exactly have any submarines over here. We should probably try to control the Cape of Africa. To the point where I'm interested in selecting half of this. And I want to split the selected task force in half. I want to select these guys, put them into a new army here, and we're going to send them to the Cape of Africa. Because I want to hold this. If we can hold this, we have the Atlantic basically on lockdown. So that'll be great. Yeah, Chickasaw American workers, your liberation is indeed near. Did that get Ming to guarantee them? Brazil and Japan. We're at war with Japan. We don't care. So far, so good. Okay, I do want to make sure that, let's see, these guys should be set to 99 out of 99. Excellent. These guys should also be... Okay, our justification there is finished. I paused the game for a reason, and we'll get to that reason in just a moment. Okay. So, that will get the Atlantic pretty well on lockdown for us. Certainly the South Atlantic. The North Atlantic, I mean, they can still come out over this way, I suppose. And the Suez Canal exists, so there is that. But if we were to extend into the Caribbean and come up this coast, we could pretty easily have this under lockdown. We could move these guys away from here under that circumstance and position them, like, in these last two positions. So that is something that we could do. Now, I do want to look at these guys. They're only guaranteed by Brazil and Japan. So if we declare war here, and we will call our allies, that'll bring in Brazil and Japan, who is guaranteeing Chickasaw America. But we're already fighting Brazil and Japan. Right? I just want to double check that. I'm pretty sure Japan is in this. Yeah, Japan is in this in the Alliance of Pratiharis. Technically, Ojibwa wouldn't have anything to say about it. Except they're in a similar war against us. Okay, we're going to call these allies. And we have opened up a front here. Excellent. We have some unassigned divisions. We're going to continue working on those. Now, we don't have too much over here in the North American theater in terms of actual strength, right? So these guys that are over here, I actually want to remove this. And I want to just put them on this same front line. I'm a little concerned about our current situation in terms of supplies here. But I do want to put an offensive line somewhere like here. Approximately. Maybe not exactly there, but something like that. The enemy is currently considered stronger, but that's okay. And, yep, everybody's calling everybody. And I actually want to get these guys into an army group. So we'll do that, and I'm actually going to delete these orders and set this up as an army group. So we'll put in a front line here. Excellent. And then I want to put an offensive line. Ideally, the offensive line actually encompasses this naval base. And let's actually back this off a little bit and do something like that. We want this to be executed aggressively. Do we have any commanders that we can put in here? We do have this field marshal. And technically, I wanted to put this into the army group. Yes, assign him there. And then here we don't have a general, but let's actually put in this guy. Wait, no, that's this guy. Let's not do that. Let's put in instead this guy. Okay, we're aggressively executing the plan. Chickasaw joined the alliance of Pratiharis. No one is surprised. Now, we're currently massively lacking in reinforcement blocked, no supply from capital. Okay, yeah, that's something we should probably think about. We should probably think about that. That would help, having supplies from the capital. Now, if we wanted to do that, as I said, we would end up having to change up our submarines quite a lot. And that is something I'm very, very interested in doing. Who controls this? Bermuda. This is Bermuda. Or actually, this is Aztec. They are neutral. Noted. Okay. So, I want to split this task force in half. We'll select these guys, and we'll create a new fleet. I want them to come over to the Caribbean. And they are going to bump up, of course, to 99 subs. Next. These guys need to go back up to 99 subs. It's going to take some time to get these submarines set up, and this is something that we probably should have done previously. The Iberian coast can be abandoned. We're going to go to the Labrador Sea instead. Okay, this is the South Georgia Sea. That needs to remain. The Damaria Plain needs to remain. African coast. This can be abandoned, and we want to instead go to the Shallow Sea. Is there any connection here? No. Okay. So yeah, we want to go to the Newfoundland Sea, technically. This is a shallow sea, but we want them to go to the Newfoundland Sea. Okay. Next. Wait. What are they doing over here? Not patrolling. Okay, we'll have them patrol over here. Perfect. These guys, what are they doing? They are in the Cape of Africa. We want that. These guys are moving to the Caribbean. Sounds good. Okay, these guys can go ahead and split in half. And then we'll select these guys, put in a new sub, or a new subgroup, rather, and we'll put them into the Florida coast. And we do not want them in this plane. Yep, we want them patrolling. Perfect. Essentially, we want to control the entire Atlantic, and we're in a good position to do that, of course. If we can control a few choke points here, and if we can control these coasts, then we'll be fine on that front. Now, the eastern seaboard we are going to need as well. So I want to select this fleet and cut it in half. And we will select these guys and put them into the eastern seaboard. Excellent. Okay. So that will do some things. I'm not sure exactly what. But with any luck, we will be able to get some naval supremacy in these regions once our subs get moved. We will, of course, need to reinforce these quite a lot. But that is, of course, what we are working on with all of this. Excellent. So now the question becomes, that's the strategic air map mode, what supply areas... Okay, let's actually check our convoys. We are currently using -16 convoys. We have a lot of available convoys. Okay, so we want to make sure that we're supplying these guys, if at all possible. So, let's see. Is there anything like with the strategic redeployment? Oh yeah, we don't want that. This doesn't appear to have the same tools that the boats have. Okay. Yeah, consolidation is not possible, of course. So yeah, we're currently lacking reinforcements because there is no supply from the capital. Now we do have this naval base, this allied naval base, but I'm wondering if we maybe need to... Let's see, request foreign manpower to fill our garrisons. These guys are our subject, so I don't think that we need to ask for, like, permission on any of this. Yeah, I'm pretty sure we can't do that. So I'm wondering if the only thing that we're currently lacking is naval control to get over there. And if that's the case, well, our naval supremacy is being established. But with that, it is time to put a cut in here, so I'm going to go ahead and do that. And next episode, we will attempt to figure out why exactly we're not getting supplies up here. But maybe this will fix itself. I'm kind of doubting it, and I'll probably have to look it up, but that will be something for next episode. You can leave your offerings to the engagement gods in the form of likes, comments, subscribes, and bell ringings, and I'll see you all next time.